Hey, so you guys seem to like my kind of thoughts, feelings video from yesterday, and I figured that I would pick another little subject and kind of do a little bit of storytelling thinking today for you, specifically around my love of accents. When I think about accents, we are going to only stick to English because accents are in every language and accents are diverse and ever changing and evolving. But I want to specifically look at why I love them so much and kind of where that came from. So, when I was really, really small, I was very lucky because I was exposed to a variety of accents just because in my family, my parents had the ability to travel quite a bit before I was born and then even after. And they were always bringing people to visit at the house to have dinner. And they had friends from Australia, from Scotland, from England, from. Did we have any Irish? I don't think so, but my mother's family genetically is Irish, so I was always obsessed with that. But like, there were people from all over the place that would come and visit. And so from a very young age, I realized that there are many ways to speak that are different from mine, but that are still my language and that I could still understand them. This is even within my small family. My father, he's from a different area of the US than from where my mom is. And then I grew up in a place where they kind of grew up. So even within my house, with two parents that are from the same country, there are still different pronunciations and there's different words and different vocabulary. And this, I think, was kind of a blessing because I always valued and adored diversity within English. And this manifested in an interesting way because ever since I was little, have had the habit of imitating accents from the people around me. And it wasn't on purpose. Like if I was talking to someone who was from a smaller town in Kansas and they had a little bit more of like a country vibe in their accent, I started to do it. And then I would come home and my sister would be like, "What are you doing?" And it was because I had listened to this one accent for a really long time and I started to imitate it. And my sister would give me trouble, but we also used accents just between the two of us at home, particularly British accents, because it's the one that I was able to watch the most. I loved Pride and Prejudice, Keira Knightley, come on, and a variety of shows and movies that were British. And so I had this ability to talk and practice and become incredibly obsessed with the diversity of it and how just now recently I realized that I think I loved it because it sounded like music, because it's like a different instrument. Like it's still music and I still understand melody, but how a piano sounds is completely different than how a trumpet would sound or how a cello would sound. But it's still all the language of music. It's just simply a different expression and emphasis. And so as I got older and people would be kind of mean or rude or avoid things that had a different accent, I was always so confused as to why. But then I started to learn about culture and accent judgment and kind of the hierarchy of accents and how accents can be used to judge other people. And that has never computed in my brain. Like, I'm going to show you some examples of some accents. They're not perfect, but you just have to, it's just cool. So, if I wanted to talk like this is something that I'd be able to do from, the South, maybe from Texas, and this can be totally wrong. I'm so sorry. But the example is that if I talk like this and I'm able to create this melody and tell these stories and be able to spread my words, that is beautiful. And if I change to this, my voice for some reason goes up and I begin to want to talk about flowers and elegance and my love for these things. Or if I really want to go into accents, it's one of the things that particularly with the Irish, it's one of the things that I study the most when we look at the melody of Irish and how it can evolve over time and how it goes up and down. It's one of the most beautiful things I've ever heard, and I'm terribly sorry if it's not perfect. So that's the deal. I love all of them. I'm not good at all of them, but they all have their own register and their vowels. And don't ask me about Australian because I love it. But it always turns into Scottish and I don't want to offend anybody. So, but if I watch a bunch of Outlander, I'm gonna start speaking like Jamie, okay? So from just this little tiny kid that was like, wow, look at the diversity, to it's become a part of my job is so cool. And how could you not fall in love with that? And that's just within my language and just within native speakers. And that doesn't even include New Zealand or Kiwi accents and South African accents and the accents of English used across the African continent, and the Northern Irish versus the Republic of Ireland versus different areas of Scotland, and the various accents within the UK or England in this context. And the United States is massive, and there are accents from the West Coast to the East Coast to the South to the North. Every single person that I have been able to meet who speaks English as a first language will still sound differently to me, and they are still all valid and beautiful and colorful and fascinating. And if people could just add like a drop of that fascination and that curiosity, I think we would have a kinder place. So you can see my little hyper focus coming in here and my love for it so much. And if you have questions or feedback or you want me to talk more, let me know. But yeah, accents are cool, and look at their diversity and how incredible they are. And if you have a different accent than the people around you, that's freaking cool. Okay? And we can bring in different languages, and I have a ton of stories around language, but that accent thing, I think you need to see the level of joy that it gives me to talk about how cool they are. So yeah, I'm gonna breathe now. I hope you're having a wonderful day, and I hope that you can lead with curiosity a little bit if you have someone who has a little different accent, and chat with them about it. Have some fun today. I'll see you soon.